The journey of embodiment, embodied resource, supports us to ride the waves of life in its reality and totality, while staying in connection and presence to self and body and how we're feeling. Welcome to the Embodied Woman podcast with me, Rebecca Wilson. An embodied experiential space for you to drop deep into the wealth of wisdom within your being and activate a fuller, richer you. I am a feminine awakener, thought leader, embodied business doula, sacred business midwife, healer, and all-round medicine woman. I am here to guide women deeper into their essence and power, to activate their life force, awaken pleasure, and support them to live an embodied life. I will help you birth your visions, dreams, creations, desires, and sacred business into the world from an easeful, embodied, and rooted place within. My work supports women to become more available for life, love, relationship, connection, creation, pleasure, and wealth. I will activate you into self-leadership and self-mastery to truly live an embodied and awakened life. Welcome on the journey, my love. Hello, love. Welcome. So today in this episode, I wanted to address a common question that I receive from my clients and from the women that I connect with in our community over on Instagram. And this question is, how do I cultivate and create safety within my body? So how I would usually describe this, particularly with a client where I would have more space and opportunity to share and unravel it, would be that our human brains have a negativity bias. This is how nature intended it to be. This simply means we are wired primarily to pay attention to threat over safety. This is a survival mechanism, which has worked really well this far. It isn't a journey of getting rid of that survival mechanism that will always override, but it is a journey of deepening awareness of that when it does rise. Within our life, when we have experienced trauma, shock, pain, disappointment, any loss or grief or separation in our life experiences, our bodies begin to hold on to that memory. They hold it as a somatic experience, particularly when we have not felt safe or held in a way that we needed to process the energy and the emotion of that experience. These held on memories then live as an archive of information within our body and being, and they become a filter from which we see, experience, and witness life through. Often, our mind and body, when in a place of activation or trigger, is responding to a felt sense of threat or danger or lack of safety that is rooted in the past, in history. Some echo or emotional imprint that has been stored in our body has been activated. It most often does not live in the present moment, in the here and now, but that present moment experience has touched or activated a historical energy that we are still holding on to. Our brain interprets a stress and a need to survive is initiated through our internal organs. These messages and signals are sent via the brain to our vagus nerve and our nervous system. And so this historical feeling of I'm not safe, I'm going to be abandoned, someone's going to hurt me, I need to protect myself is reignited And the messages from all of the wealth of information that we've stored and archived in our brain begins to pass through the body, sending signs and signals that we are under a perceived experience or state of stress and threat. The survival switch gets turned on and it impacts our nervous system response or reaction and our vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve is also known as the vagal nerves. These are the main nerves of the parasympathetic nervous system. This system controls specific body functions such as digestion, heart rate, and our immune system. So when we are in this perceived state of threat, our threatened mind and body remain on high alert. They remain in a state of survival. This is a primal and unconscious response to keep us safe. The perceived threat is ignited by the historic holding patterns in the body. We often feel unconsciously in this place of just like when. This is just like when my dad abandoned me as a child. This is just like when my mum ignored my emotional needs. This is just like when I was bullied at school. This is just like when, and we fill in our own information in the just like when. So we're ignited, activated, or re-triggered into a felt sense of a historical point in time that's still held in the body, which is why it can be touched in this way. And then we're reignited into the felt experience of it happening all over again. Our body also intelligently, from a primitive survival mechanism, holds on to patterns as a form of safety. Because when we are feeling safe in the unknown, it feels more familiar and comfortable than the unsafety of the unknown, because our brain believes that it's not safe in the unknown. And we find comfort and safety in the known patternings. So often we hold on to stories, limitations, beliefs, patterns as a form of safety itself. But it's a misplaced state of safety. What it actually does is it continues to perpetuate a feeling of threat and danger in the body. So here arrives the practice to support, to soften and release all of these edges and begin to cultivate safety within the body. And this is the practice of resourcing. Resourcing invites our mind and body to attune to sensations of safety, goodness, stability, sweetness, however small they may be. We always generally have a place, either within the body or someplace out just outside the body, where we can find that felt sense. We often call these glimmers. And this is a process of attending to a felt sense of okayness, goodness, resource within. This begins a process of teaching our nervous system that it can be safe to experience stress and come back to a state of calm. That it is safe to arrive back into a state of calm and safety. This is the process of regulation in the nervous system, a journey and process of being able to move in and out of states of high alert, collapse, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, survival, and to find our way back to the middle, to the rest place, to the regulation, with a relative amount of ease through practices of resourcing and titration. Within all of my offerings, I continually support women to resource within their own body, whilst also simultaneously co-regulating with myself and or the group that we are in. We do this by cultivating presence in the environment, the body, the felt sense, and continually grounding into body and the earth as a place of anchor, steadiness, and safety. We all move through high times of stress, struggle, challenge within our lives. It's kind of this human experience we all signed up for. The journey of embodiment, embodied resource, supports us to ride the waves of life in its reality and totality, while staying in connection and presence to self and body and how we're feeling. Somatic resourcing practices offer us a powerful experience to address and explore the challenges we experience within our own unique narratives and patterns. By cultivating a deeper awareness of the mind and body connection. These practices support us to build resilience, reduce stress, and cultivate a felt sense of well-being within us. So what is somatic resourcing? This term, somatic resourcing, is rooted in somatic psychology, which is a field that emphasizes the interconnection between the mind and the body. It is based on the idea that our bodies store emotional memories, and by working with the body, we can access and release these stored emotions, offering healing, integration, and a place of balance and harmony within. The key principles of somatic resourcing: mind-body connection. Somatic resourcing recognizes that emotional experiences are not just held in the mind, they are also experienced in the body. That our body remembers past aches, pains, traumas, and the life experiences that brought us challenge. And these memories are often held in the cellular matrix of our being, and they can affect our emotional well-being. They can affect our ability to resource and regulate in the present moment. They can affect our ability to cultivate connection within relationship to self and other. They can also affect our ability to move forward with our lives, to step into our dreams and desires, to create whatever it is we desire to create. They impact our availability for intimacy and connection across all areas of our existence. As we deepen into somatic experiencing and somatic practices, we begin to arrive into understanding what it might mean to self-regulate. Self-regulation is about us being able to regulate and attune to our own nervous system, which is a process of us being able to manage the stressors of life, to move through them with a relative amount of ease and gentleness, which allows us to arrive back into a place of stability and safety within. Grounding is an amazing practice, particularly through the soma or the somatic experience of the body. We often journey and explore many different ways of cultivating grounding, earth-based connection through my offerings and teachings. We do this to support us to really allow ourselves to feel connection in the present moment, and particularly with our bodies, the felt sense of our body and our physical body. This is a really useful practice and tool to cultivate, particularly when we may be in times of high stress in life, and more so when those times of stress mimic or mirror past experiences that brought us pain, disconnection, disembodiment, trauma, or any emotional waves that felt incredibly challenging to deal with. When we cultivate practices of grounding, we're able to arrive back into the present moment and not live so much in the history or the story or the old narrative. And we do this with many different kinds of practices: breath work, body scanning, embodied movement, somatic movement, grounding practices, earth-based anchoring practices, meditation, embodied meditation that supports a cultivation of connection to the lower aspects of the body and our lower energy centers. As we take this journey of somatic resourcing, we begin to reduce stress in the body, better able to learn how to regulate our nervous system, somatically resource ourselves, particularly in times of stress or anxiety in life. We begin to cultivate emotional healing. The practices that we explore often help and release stored emotions and trauma from the body, which allows us to deeper into healing, integration, and cultivate a greater capacity of resilience within our body for life. This supports us to improve an overall sense of well-being, feeling more grounded, present, connected, available for life. With a greater understanding of our emotional landscape, our needs, and how best to communicate them with our own self or with those that we are in relationship with. Through this, we cultivate a greater self-awareness, becoming more attuned to our bodies. We gain a deeper understanding of our emotions, reactions, responses, needs. We gain and cultivate a greater understanding of our triggers, wounds, and the younger parts of ourselves that may just need greater care or attention. And through this, we are better able to self-regulate and self-resource. Somatic resourcing practices, embodied movement practices, meditation, grounding, breath work, resourcing, and feminine nurturing practices are the key offerings that I cultivate and curate within all of my work and retreats that I create for women to step into. We do this as a full spectrum experience for the modern day woman. And I coined this term as the woman that is existing in this modern world that is full to the brim of experience, stress, the busyness of life, the many different demands that we have on our time and our energy. And by offering these tools and practices to the women that step into retreats with myself, I'm offering them a gift of being able to ground back into them, to cultivate deeper connection and presence within, so that they can take the practices out into everyday life to manage the stresses of work, relationship, motherhood, to learn and understand how to release stored and held trapped emotions from the body, which allows us all through those processes to be able to foster a greater sense of inner connection, safety, steady ground, and this felt sense of well-being within. We explore many of these practices within my retreats and in-person immersions, all alongside deep feminine energy, awakening, restoration, resourcing, and full body nourishment. We're able to reground back into the body, the heart, and the womb, cultivate a deeper or new relationship with the earth as this ever-present, steady anchoring place beneath us. It is from this place that our feminine essence and nature begins to thrive and reawaken into her full vitality. We release the force to be able to soften into ourselves. And it is through this practice of resourcing, cultivating safety and steady ground within, that we can open and bloom gently, like a flower in spring, petal by petal, revealing our true self and being able to truly come home to what it is for us to be a woman walking the earth at this time. If you are a woman walking the path of awakening with a desire to cultivate more safety and steadiness, solid ground within yourself and your body, I welcome you to join us for our Awakening Woman Retreat, We will be gathering from the 8th to the 11th of March in the Peak District, UK. And this is a 4-day retreat, a sacred journey to reconnect to yourself, your body, your heart, and your womb, to cultivate safety, resource, and nourishment from deep within, to be able to awaken back into the river of energy and love that washes through your body, heart, and womb. This is the way that we truly awaken our feminine energy and essence. We will gather in circle with women to cultivate light within our bodies and womb space. As the seasons change and awaken, and we step into spring, we are supported through this transition in time to cultivate deeper connection to ourselves and each other. This is a journey for awakening women. I welcome you to join us, my love. Places are always so limited on retreats to really allow us to cultivate and offer a space of depth and intimacy and connection. The details are linked in the show notes of this episode. The retreats for this year, for 2024, will be somewhat limited. I am not holding as many retreats as I have done historically. There will only be 2 or 3 mapped out for 2024. So if you've been on retreat before and you know the magic that happens and you want some more of it, join us. If you haven't and you've been feeling it for a while, this is now your time, my love. And if you've just arrived here and you're wondering what it's all about, but you're feeling the call within, I welcome you to join us. Join us on a journey of cultivating safety within your body so that you can live the life of your dreams from a place of knowing that you are worthy to do so, that you are safe to do so. Okay, my love. All the details linked below. I welcome you to join us. Have a beautiful day. So much love. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. If you loved this musing and sharing, I would love for you to share this episode far and wide. You can arrive into all of my offerings at rebecca-wilson.com. Links to dive deeper with me are in the episode notes. Remember, my love, you are here to be the fullest, most potent, powerful, embodied version of you. I am here to guide you into that. Hey, love. I'm dropping in here to welcome you to join us in our online community membership, The Village. I created this space for women to gather, to return to themselves, to deepen the connection and the relationship with self, whilst held in a community of like-minded women walking the journey and the path of their own awakening.